Good morning, and welcome to this episode of Let's Talk Mindset with me, your host, Michelle Green. The sound I can't unhear. I'm not someone who is afraid of hospitals, and I've had a few surgeries in my years on this earth, so the medical environment does not scare or intimidate me at all. However, that daunting sound of a ventilator, especially on my soulmate, the person who I love with all of me, is a sound that I just can't forget and desperately wish I could unhear. It's been over 2 years, and still, when I see the image of a person on a ventilator and hear that eerie sound, that sound of a ventilator pumping air into the patient's lungs, whether it be on social media, on TV, wherever I see the image, for just a quick second, I get taken right back to the hospital room that my husband died in. Back when he was sick, daily for about 2 months, at around 10 o'clock in the morning-ish, I would drive the 10 minutes it took to get to the hospital, where my already immunocompromised spouse was fighting the COVID-19 virus and was on a ventilator. We both caught the virus at the time. However, I didn't even know I was sick. I didn't even know I was sick until my husband was admitted into the hospital and tested, and urged me to go get tested myself. Now, we all have things that trigger us in our lives, regardless if we are aware of these triggers or not. It could be a word, it could be a phrase, it could be a particular experience or sound or sounds, could be a smell, an image, it could be anything. For me, one of my triggers is the image or the sound of a ventilator. And when I'm triggered, it can bring me right back to the place that I really don't want to go. Now, the good news is that because I am aware of these triggers, I am able to take control and shift my thoughts regarding and surrounding said triggers, right? And this one, in this case, is the sound and the sight of a ventilator machine. And I'm able to change the emotions and change the emotions that I experience when I am triggered. And this comes with self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Triggers explain the reason behind a person's reactions rather than being used as an excuse for the behavior. These reactions are a person's survival response, and perhaps not the most positive way to manage your triggers. Might not be the most positive way, but there is an explanation for your reactions to your triggers. Recently, I came back from a vacation in the Caribbean. It was a 14-day vacation, and it was planned around my late husband's birthday, what would have been his birthday if he was still around. And on that day, the plan was to scatter his ashes in the ocean as he requested. So I planned this trip, and about 3 days into the trip was the day to scatter the ashes. Now, it was a heavy day. I wouldn't say I was triggered per se, But it was a heavy day because it was just one more time of me saying goodbye to, the love of my life. So it was a heavy day. But it was a day that I was glad I made it through. And it was something that I'm glad that I did because it's something he requested of me in his death. So I feel accomplished and I feel like my mission was accomplished. About 5 days later, I got the unexpected news about my furry best friend, my fur baby, if you want to call her that, Bailey. You guys have heard me talk about Bailey. Bailey was my almost 12-year-old chocolate Labrador retriever. She was female and she was my ride or die and the most loyal friend that I think I will ever have. And I got the news 5 days in, or 5 days after scattering the ashes, that my, most loyal friend in the world was so ill that she had to be put down. Well, talk about trigger. For a short while, I was triggered and I spiraled down into the depths of grief. And it triggered me. This unexpected loss triggered me right back to the unexpected loss of my husband. And I won't say I did spiral, but I almost spiraled down into a depression. I was struggling, to say the least. And like I said, because I know the psychology of it, and because I am emotionally intelligent, the spiral didn't actually happen. Like, it was the beginning of a spiral, but we didn't really manage to spiral all the way because I was able to manage or deal with the trigger that I was faced with, right? So today I want to share with you one way that you can manage your triggers or deal with your triggers. The first thing is you need to acknowledge the emotion. Remember that emotions come from our thoughts. Thoughts create emotions. That's the cycle of it, and around it goes. So we need to acknowledge the emotion. For me, the emotion was sadness, triggered by grief of the unexpected loss of my beloved pet. So I acknowledge the emotion, and I actually know where it's coming from. The unexpected loss and the grief, right? Then you learn the skill of shifting your thought focus. And it is a skill, believe me, and it takes practice to shift your thought focus. If you feel negative emotions, practice positive actions. And by this I mean, if you're feeling lonely and down and depressed, our instinct as human beings is to stay home, lock ourselves away inside, wallowing in the negative feelings and spiraling in the depression, like I was almost about to the point where you forget to even feed yourself. And this is how depression works. This, however, is the worst thing that you could do for yourself in this situation and to yourself in the midst of your depression. It's the worst thing you could do. Don't hide away. Instead, don't follow the instinct to hide away and crawl into your shell and into your comfort space and not move from it. Instead, fight that instinct and call a friend. Call a friend or call a family member and set up a lunch date or a walk in the park or a hike in the woods or a Zoom call where you could have a Zoom date or a Zoom conference or whatever makes you feel comfortable. But the key here is to do things that automatically produce positive energy feelings. Do things that bring you joy. When you feel good feelings, it's communication from the universe saying you're thinking good thoughts. And likewise, when you're feeling bad or negative feelings, you're receiving communication that you're thinking negative or bad thoughts. Negative thoughts are like warnings. Let's look at negative thoughts and negative emotions from now on as warnings, right? Think of them that way. Warning, change thinking now. Warning, recording negative frequency, change frequency now. Counting down to manifestation. Warning, warning. Big red lights blinking, right? And an alarm sound wailing at you. Think of our negative feelings and negative emotions as warnings. And maybe this will be the help or the initial push you need to learn the skill of shifting your thought focus and being able to deal and manage with your triggers better, right? Look at them as warnings. If you feel negative emotions, practice positive actions. Do things that will automatically produce positive energy feelings within you. Do things that bring you joy. If you like Bailey's in your coffee, have a Bailey's coffee. If you enjoy fresh flowers, don't wait for somebody to send them to you. Go get yourself some fresh flowers. Do things that will automatically produce positive energy feelings. And thank you so much for listening to this episode of Let's Talk Mindset with me, your host, Michelle Green. I am not going to end this episode yet. I am going to make a plug for my book again. It Wasn't Luck, an inspirational story of love and loss. It's a book authored by me. It's a labor of love. It's like almost giving birth to a baby to self-publish a book. You can get it on Amazon. It's by me, Michelle E. Green, and I really, really hope that you enjoy it. I look forward to your comments, reader reviews. Love it. I'm really looking forward to it. So go out and get yourself a copy of It Wasn't Luck by me, Michelle E. Green, and let me know what you think. And stay mindful, mindsetters. Stay mindful. Have a great day. Ciao.